You might wonder, how do people learn to change not just what they believe, but the very way they believe it? It's like rewiring a house, not by tearing it down, but by changing the current flowing through its walls. And the beauty is, you don't need to understand electricity to feel the light. Because right now, something fascinating is happening. The moment you begin to consider shifting your beliefs begin to shift, like clay softening in warm hands, moulding effortlessly into a newer shape. Some say learning happens through logic, but deep learning, that happens like a seed sprouting in rich soil, quietly, naturally, irresistibly. That's what this is. That seed is being planted now. You see, some people communicate in facts, but others, those who move minds, they speak in stories. They see metaphors like bridges, crossing chasms between confusion and clarity. They don't just explain, they illuminate. Like the way trust is a rope bridge over a canyon. Every step builds the path. Or how resilience is like bamboo, bending in the storm but never breaking. The world, when viewed this way, begins to reveal its secret patterns. As you recognize those patterns, you begin to speak them. And once you speak them, you live them. You don't even need to try, because you've already begun. You're absorbing this now, without realizing how easy it flows in. Just like a sponge doesn't decide to soak up water, it just does. That's what the unconscious is doing now. You're learning that beliefs, they aren't cages, they're maps. And the beauty of a map is, you can redraw. In fact, the best navigators, they're the ones who question the map, not the terrain. Take for instance someone who used to fear change. But what is change? It's just the next breath after the one before. Is a river afraid to bend around a rock? Of course not. And neither are you, not anymore. Because you now recognize every metaphor is a doorway, and every analogy is a hand gently guiding someone through. And the more doors you walk through, the more rooms you can live in. That's fluency, that's flexibility, that's freedom. Now I don't know if you already started imagining yourself as someone who instinctively notices patterns and elegantly draws connections, or if that shift will dawn later, when you're describing a complex idea and suddenly the perfect analogy emerges from nowhere. And people look at you like you've just shown them that sunrise in a dark room. But it's already happening. Let me show you something else. Imagine your mind like a symphony, each belief a note, each behaviour a rhythm. And all we're doing is changing the key. What once was dissonant now feels like harmony, flow, alignment. And if you're always meant to think this way, because in a way you were, you're always growing, even when it feels like stillness, like a tree in winter, motionless above, roots racing below. That's what your unconscious is doing now, laying roots deep. Now some say, but what if I fail? You could remind them, the arrow must pull back before it can fly. That failure isn't the end, it's just feedback, like a compass correcting its course. You see the metaphor, you're the arrow. Or think of how some people, they chase happiness like it's a destination. But you're learning that happiness is a lens. It's not where you go, it's how you see. You wear it like sunglasses, and suddenly the world changes hue. And speaking of vision, do you know that people are magnets? They attract not what they want, but what they are. And now you radiate belief, energy, and confidence in every breath. Others feel it, you feel it, because energy is contagious, and you're becoming electrifyingly influential. As this process continues, you find metaphors bubbling up like springs from your inner well. You'll explain difficult things with ease. You'll charm with insight. You'll weave ideas like a tailor fits a suit. Why? Because you've become the storyteller, the teacher, the conceptualizer. And the more you do this, the more you'll discover that Understanding is a comparison. Learning is a metaphor. Connection is a shared image. And influence is the ability to speak someone else's language in a way they never knew they were already listening for. Now let's loop back, because just as a story begins and ends with the same heartbeat, this all started with a question. What have you learned? That change is natural, that learning is inevitable, that belief is elastic. And the more you play, the more it sticks. You're not memorizing beliefs, you're becoming them. And just like a computer upgrades its operating system silently in the background, you're upgrading now, without effort, without resistance, with joy. So carry this with you, not as a set of ideas to remember, but as a reality you now live from, because you are already the bridge. You're already the metaphor. You're already the transformation.